The dense forest enveloped us in a quiet serenity as my friends and I traversed the narrow trail, backpacks laden with the essentials for our remote adventure. Towering trees formed a natural canopy overhead, filtering the dappled sunlight that flickered through the leaves. The air was filled with the earthy aroma of moss and pine, and the sounds of rustling leaves and distant bird calls created a symphony of wilderness. However, the tranquility was abruptly shattered as an ominous shift occurred. Without warning, a heavy mist, unnatural and foreboding, began to materialize around us. It was as if the very fabric of the forest had conspired to birth this ethereal shroud, transforming the once clear trail into a ghostly realm of uncertainty. Within moments, the mist thickened, shrouding the surroundings in a hazy curtain. Visibility plummeted, and the world beyond became an impenetrable void. The trees, once familiar and comforting, now stood as ghostly silhouettes, their branches reaching out like spectral fingers. The trail ahead, obscured by the opaque mist, vanished into an ethereal nothingness. As the mist closed in, it clung to everything, the trees, the fern-covered ground, and even the straps of our backpacks. Moisture clung to our skin, and the air took on a damp, otherworldly quality. The sounds of the forest, once vibrant and alive, muffled into an eerie silence, adding to the disconcerting atmosphere. A sense of disorientation set in, as if the mist had severed our connection to the tangible world. Conversations among us became hushed whispers, and the sound of our footsteps on the trail echoed with an eerie resonance. The forest, once a realm of natural beauty, now wore the cloak of an enigmatic dreamscape. Navigating through this surreal landscape became a challenge. The trail, usually well-defined, now seemed to dissolve into the mist, forcing us to rely on the feel of the uneven ground beneath our feet. Shapes loomed in and out of focus, creating illusions that danced on the periphery of our vision. It was a profound moment of isolation, surrounded by an all-encompassing mist, unable to see beyond a few feet in any direction. The forest, once a place of camaraderie and adventure, now felt like an ancient labyrinth, a mysterious realm where the boundaries between reality and the fantastical blurred. In the heart of the mist, uncertainty prevailed, and the forest became an ethereal theater where the ordinary gave way to the extraordinary. Little did we know that this unexpected transformation marked the beginning of an adventure that would defy the conventions of our backpacking journey, immersing us in a world where the line between the natural and the supernatural began to fade. Mike, attempting to maintain an air of bravery, urged us to press forward through the thick mist. However, his attempts to mask the unease in his voice proved futile. Each step became a stumble, and the once confident cadence of our journey disintegrated into a hesitant shuffle. Without the visual cues of the trail, we found ourselves stumbling aimlessly, uncertain of our direction, and questioning if we were still on the designated path. The eerie silence of the woods intensified, as if the very heartbeat of the forest had quieted in response to an impending danger. The usual symphony of wildlife, the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant calls of unseen creatures, had been replaced by an unsettling stillness. It was as though the mist itself had draped a heavy curtain over the natural world, muting its vibrant sounds and turning the once lively woods into a spectral chamber of anticipation. Mike's attempts at reassurance began to falter, and the strain in his voice betrayed the mounting anxiety that gripped us all. His directions became more uncertain, and the mist played tricks on our senses, distorting the shapes of trees into ominous figures that seemed to loom over us. Our group, once guided by the camaraderie of exploration, had become a cluster of lost souls adrift in the mystical fog. In the disorienting haze, time seemed to stretch and warp. Minutes felt like hours, and the boundaries between reality and imagination blurred. The forest, once a sanctuary of natural beauty, now felt like an ancient realm where unseen forces conspired to test our resolve. As we stumbled through the mist, a sense of vulnerability settled over us. Each step carried the weight of uncertainty, and the oppressive atmosphere fueled a collective unease. The very air felt charged with an inexplicable tension, as if the mist held secrets that transcended the limits of our understanding. It was in this disquieting atmosphere that the forest began to reveal its mysterious nature, and the next scene of our journey unfolded with a surreal and unsettling clarity. Jess's gasp cut through the stillness like a blade, and her trembling hand pointed into the murky gloom ahead. As our eyes strained to pierce the mist, we were met with a chilling sight, an impossibly tall and thin figure lurking in the shadows. It stood motionless, an enigma in the fog, its form defying the proportions of anything human. The mist swirled around the unearthly silhouette, shrouding it in an ethereal dance of shadows. Its elongated limbs seemed to extend into the unknown, casting eerie, distorted shapes on the foggy canvas. As the creature turned to face us, a cold shiver ran down my spine, and the hushed whispers of the forest intensified. The creature's features emerged from the gloom, revealing an alien-like face that defied the norms of the familiar. Its eyes, devoid of human warmth, gleamed with an otherworldly intensity. The skin, pale and otherworldly, stretched over angular contours that seemed almost skeletal in nature. Every detail of its visage exuded an aura of the uncanny, challenging the boundaries of our comprehension. A heavy silence settled over us as we stood paralyzed by the revelation before us. The mist, now a spectral backdrop, clung to the creature like a spectral cloak. Time itself seemed to waver, and the very air vibrated with an otherworldly resonance. The creature, an intruder from the unknown, stood sentinel in the mist, a silent witness to our intrusion into its mysterious domain. Fear, primal and all-encompassing, gripped us. It was a fear born not only from the unknown, but from the unsettling realization that we were in the presence of something that defied the laws of the natural world. Jess's initial gasp transformed into a collective breath held in terrified anticipation, as if the very act of exhaling might provoke a response from the enigmatic being before us. The creature, still and inscrutable, lingered in the shadows and fog, a testament to the mysterious forces that dwelled within the heart of the mist-shrouded forest. The next steps of our journey hung in the balance, and the impossibly tall, thin figure became a harbinger of an adventure that would challenge the boundaries of our understanding and plunge us into a realm where the ordinary met the extraordinary. Amy's screams, a symphony of terror, shattered the ominous stillness. Panic seized us, and without hesitation, we erupted into a frenzied run. Blinded by fear and disoriented in the thick fog, we crashed through the underbrush, our heartbeats thundering in our ears. The otherworldly creature pursued us with an unnatural swiftness, its elongated limbs propelling it through the mist like a specter in pursuit. The fog became an oppressive maze, and our breaths came in ragged gasps as we struggled to put distance between us and the enigmatic being that had emerged from the shadows. Through the sheer chaos of our desperate flight, we miraculously burst out of the mist, stumbling into the clearing that housed the ranger station. The pale glow of artificial light offered a stark contrast to the eerie darkness of the woods we had just escaped. Relief flooded through us as we found sanctuary in the glow of the ranger station. But the terror lingered, etched into the lines of our faces and the frantic beats of our hearts. The ranger station became a haven from the unknown, a place where the boundaries of reality seemed to hold fast against the encroaching mysteries of the forest. As we caught our breaths and huddled in the safety of the station, the fog-enshrouded woods seemed like a distant nightmare, a place where the line between the tangible and the supernatural blurred into an unsettling tapestry. The memory of that impossibly tall, thin creature haunted our thoughts, its alien-like face forever etched into the recesses of our minds. The decision was unanimous. We would never set foot in those woods again. The forest, once a realm of natural beauty and adventure, had revealed a darker side, a dimension where the inexplicable thrived. That mysterious being, now seared into the fabric of our nightmares, became a symbol of the